Am I the only one who's gone through this? Where I set my New Year's goals or set my goals for the upcoming university year, whatever, and I'm full of motivation, passion, and I'm inspired. I'm gonna achieve my dreams or goals for the year, and then at the end of the year, I'd find that I'm lacking, or I'd look back at what I wrote down and realize I completely forgot some of the things that I wrote. I don't believe I'm alone, and in fact I've talked to many people who have had similar experiences, and in this video I wanted to share my lessons from this previous year and the years prior about things that I have done that have helped me achieve different New Year's goals, but also have some reflection on this year that's been, and be very honest and vulnerable about where I felt I slipped up and lacked in the areas where I didn't quite hit what I wanted to hit. Let's get into it. When setting goals for the next year or the next period, I find it so useful to reflect on the year that's been or the period that's been, so I can have more information to do this next season of life better than the previous one. Now, that can be reflecting on the things that you achieved or the things that went really well. Asking yourself, what did I do that contributed to me achieving that goal? What habits, what decisions, what routines contributed to that? And on the other hand, for the things that you missed out, ask yourself similar questions. What habits, routines, actions did I take that hindered my ability to achieve that goal I set for myself? And if you do both of those things, you have a lot of valuable information that you can apply for the season ahead to make you more likely to achieve your goals, or at least be a little bit better or improve the process or result of how you attempt to achieve your goals. And then keep iterating, refining that, and you'll find that you can actually achieve a lot more than you thought was possible, which as humans, we're so blessed that we have the ability to do so much with how we've been created, but it is up to us and how we choose to act and decide with how we can achieve those things. Obviously, there are times where there are external situations where things outside of our control happen, absolutely, but I find if you do make certain decisions, you can increase the odds of positive results happening for you. And when I started making videos on YouTube about a year ago now, or not quite, I found that I was in a place where I wasn't healthy at all. I was gaining weight, wasn't exercising, and I really wanted to change that because I was scared of what that outcome would be for my health. And I just wanted to be a better version of myself. So what I did is I focused on my diet, but even with that, I wasn't quite seeing the results I was hoping for. And there was a disconnect between the goal I had, which is to be a healthier me, and the reality of the life I was living at that time. And there are two things that really helped me, I guess, engage with that goal and achieve that goal of making exercise and health a part of my lifestyle. And the two things were connecting with my why behind the decision. So with that, I'd continually go back to, why do I want to be healthy? I want to be healthy because I want to be the best version of myself, and I want to be around so when I have kids, which hopefully one day I will, that I can be a dad who's energetic and has the health to be able to do things that they love with them, as opposed to only watching them. And the second thing which really helped me was accountability. So I was really struggling with making exercise, in particular running a habit. So what I did is I reached out to one of my friends who was a very good runner, and I told him that I'm going to get into running and I want to be accountable to you. And he recommended that I get on an app called Strava, which is a social media site for runners and people who do exercise. And I found in doing that, having that social, I guess, pressure of, people need to see if I'm running or not, that really helped me build the habit and get to a point where I achieved, I guess, a stretch goal of being able to run 10Ks by the end of the year, which I achieved the day before New Year's Eve. So I was freaking pumped, I know. Yeah, for me that was a big stretch because I could barely run a kilometre, but I was so relieved with that. So hopefully I can apply those lessons into the year ahead. I've developed that habit now, so just need to keep up that routine. But while I achieved that goal, I'm really happy about that. I had one with my university studies when I went back in my last semester. I really wanted to get an A average for all my papers. Now, I got close, got an A minus, which I was really happy with, but I missed out. And in reflecting about the semester that's been, it was really uncomfortable because while I did put in work to try get those grades, if I'm honest with myself, near the end of the semester, my focus, my amount of time that I was committing to my study did wane. And that is likely a contributor to why I couldn't quite get the marks that I was hoping for. Well, I'm very content with what happened, and I appreciate the lesson learned from that semester. That is what it is. So there's lessons you can learn from both ways. The good, what you changed to achieve it, and the bad, where you just missed out, and then you can apply that to the period ahead. So upon reflecting upon my failure or just missing out on my goals in relation to my study, I found that shift in motivational focus changed because I wasn't utilizing my mornings in the same way that I was earlier on. In fact, I came to the realization that I often do my best work and best study right in the morning, but I had neglected that near the end of the year. So I wanted to do some research and look into how to start mornings well, and there's a great piece of advice by a high performance coach by the name of Emma Murray, who works with Australia's top athletes and many top business people, and she has a great 4-step morning routine that I want to try apply to my life, and I hope that this is something that you can apply to yours as well. We can do it together. So first, the first step is movement. So at the start of your day, having some type of movement, whether that's going for a walk, going for a run, doing a couple of push-ups, just doing something to get your body moving, something that helps strengthen you and I guess wakes you up in the day and helps you feel like a human being, I guess, even if it's a bit uncomfortable, and having a bit of that loosening at the start. Now, it doesn't have to be an intense workout for sure. In fact, for many people, even just going for a walk would be a challenge, but just getting moving can help wake up your brain and get your day started well. The second thing Emma suggests is applying mindfulness to your morning. So this is taking time to focus your senses and develop the strength in the morning to direct, ground, and focus your attention now on your senses so you can achieve what you want to achieve later. So this can happen while you're cooking breakfast. You could be creating your scrambled eggs, just take into account what's the smell like, what is the texture when you're eating, what does it actually taste like in your mouth, what are the birds doing outside. Just taking time to be present and aware of your surroundings, and by doing this, it helps you to direct and focus your attention. So as you go through your day, you're not completely distracted by the different stresses of life, but you have that ability to focus your attention on what you need to focus it on. The next stage is mindset. So taking some time in your day where you have intentional time to choose your mindset for the day, but also to grow as an individual. Directing your thinking can be a big challenge, and many of us can struggle with negative self-talk or a mind that just doesn't seem to focus or fit on what you need to focus on. But I highly recommend this book here by Dr. Caroline Leaf. It's called Think, Learn, Succeed. It's a really great book that can go over your thinking habits and processes, and also just change your perspective on what thinking is. And if you apply those lessons, I'm sure that there'll be great benefit. Let me know if you'd like me to discuss that book in more detail. I'd be happy to do that in another video. But the third step that Emma suggests working on is mindset. So this is taking a moment to grow as an individual and to choose your mindset through the day. Some people do this through journaling, through prayer, through reading the Bible, listening to an audiobook. I find all of those things are great. But something I do in addition to prayer is I find that reviewing my goals for, I guess, my personal mission statement, that's a better way, the things I want to live by, the goals for the year as well, applying those things, reading them, being aware of them, helps to direct my decisions, or helps me to be aware of how my decisions fit in the wider scheme of those goals. So mindset, have that time in the morning to focus on your mindset. What attitude will you choose for the day? Will you be in a growth mindset, or will you be in a scarcity mindset? Up to you. But the final one, which really applies practically and ensures that the actions you take actually impact your wider scheme or your goals for the year, is to outline your must for the day. Throughout the day, we have so many things competing for our attention, but if you choose 3 must-dos for the day, say for example, that these 3 must-dos are things that will help you achieve your goals, whether that's as a language learner, doing 30 minutes of Korean study a day, or as a musician, actually spending an hour going over certain techniques. Whatever it is, having those musts can really help you achieve your goals and help you not to neglect important things as well, as it's very easy for the stresses of life to stop us from striving for our goals and leave us in a place where we just don't have energy for it by the end of the day. But having these musts there helps us to prioritize these things and to achieve those goals. But I'd love to hear from you for your new year. What resolutions do you have? And also, I'd love to hear, what actions do you find help you achieve those goals? Thank you so much for watching. This is Life with Andy. If you have any questions, thoughts, comments, I'd love to hear them. But otherwise, I'll see you next time. Take care.